Hare Krishna. So we are very, very pleased that we have our friend Chandan Yatra. I've been getting, by the way, I've been getting your newsletter or your yatras for some years, and it's been really wonderful. For our audience, this is the second broadcast of our celebrating the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita series, where we are taking advantage of this time between the holy appearance of Sri Advaita Acarya and Gaur Purnima to go deeply into Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes by focusing on how this is revealed through the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And particularly this allows us to also make a very personal connection because of Srila Prabhupada and his investment in it, because of the connection that we find through the roots of our movement in Chaitanya Charitamrita and so many different ways. And one of those ways is to visit the holy places. And Chandan Yatra is an expert in this field. Those of you who are online and have seen his material, I'm just going to share just to be so that you make sure that you visit this site after the show. This is his website, holypilgrimages.com. You can sign up for his regular emails where he gives you a real in-depth view. And we're going to see that online now. So few more things about Chandan Yatra. You're initiated by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and you live in Canberra, Australia. That's why you can see the difference in light here. Here I'm in Mayapur, and so it's still 5 in the morning here. And you are in Canberra, and what is it there now?
10:30 a.m. in Canberra, Australia.
10:30 a.m. So you're right in the middle of the morning, and I assume that most of our viewers could be in America, and again, or in that Western Hemisphere, where it's about 6:30 or a little earlier there. So we're spanning the globe. So tell us, what are we going to do today? Where are we going?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, respected Pancharatna Prabhu, and all the devotees, entire world. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, I'm so grateful to you and I'm doing this for the very first time, so please forgive me for any shortfalls and all. But I just want to first of all say that only by the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada, and Supreme Lord, that I'm able to do a little bit of service, humble service. So all my obeisances to all of you present. I'm Chandan Yatra. I'm from Canberra, Australia. I'm disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And since 2009, I have been doing several yatras, especially which are connected with the places toured by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his associates like Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acarya, and other Vaishnava Acharyas, in Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sai Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, and other Vaishnava Sampradayas, the various holy places I have covered in my various articles. I have traveled to these holy places by myself in all these years and put the photographs and the related information, and I've referred to all the bona fide details either from Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or the lectures from our spiritual masters and Srila Prabhupada, and tried to embed the information. I've covered many holy places in Navadvipa Dhama, Sri Jagannatha Puri Dham, in South India, Rameshwaram, Kanchipuram, Sri Rangam, Tirupati, all the other places that Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu has traveled. Even in Northeast India, I've covered in Manipur. Manipur, surprisingly, I came to know that it's 100% Vaishnava state, and Srila Prabhupada really desired that our Krishna consciousness movement further propagates in Manipur, which is happening right now as well. And then in Dwarika, Dham, and even in Kashmir, I've traveled and put up the article. So just trying to make a little mini attempt to bring forward the various holy places, Vaishnava holy places that are connected to the pastimes of the Lord and his and the associates, and bring forward so that people can visit these holy places, and if they can't, then at least have a virtual tour of them. Um, so today,
Great.
His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu, we are visiting Shantipur Yatra because yes,
Shantipur.
Shantipur ki jai. So Shantipur is the yesterday was the appearance day of Sri Advaita Acharya, and Shantipur is the place where where Shri Advaita Acharya's actual house is. So we'll cover that today. And before I'll say, Om Agyanate Nandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshu Anmintam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरे वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I'll be presenting one PPT about Shantipur. Um,
Okay. All right. Let me put it up. Is
yes,
it ready to go?
Yes, Prabhu, it's ready to go.
Okay. Here we go. There we go. Shantipur. Hare Krishna.
Shantipur,
So
yeah.
I'm just going to get some of this other material off so that we get the full view here. Okay, let me just. All right, there we go. Okay, it's all yours. Take it away, Chandan Yatra. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So Shantipur is a very important place which is connected to us all Gaudiya Vaishnavas. This is very important because this is the place where house of Sri Advaita Acharya was. And in fact, this is the place from where by the fervent prayers of Sri Advaita Acharya, that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his fervent prayers and crying to Lord, Supreme Lord to save us all conditioned souls, and that Lord agreed to appear as Gauranga. And here in Shantipur, Sri Advaita Acharya worshipped specifically one of the Shaligram Shila and the Madan Gopal deities, the original Madan Gopal deities, which are still there at the Shantipur. So Sri Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahamir Vishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita, and because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of Lord's devotee. His glories are beyond the conception of us, all ordinary human beings. And as I mentioned, it is because of his fervent prayers and to save us all from the clutches of Maya that Sri Advaita Acharya actually prayed to Lord Krishna, cried that he descend to save us. So the sixth chapter of Adi Leela in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita describes in detail that because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and incarnation of Lord's devotee. Therefore, I take shelter of him. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 6.5. Then Sri Advaita Acharya is all auspicious to the world, for he is the reservoir of all auspicious attributes. His characteristics, activities, and names are always auspicious. And then very important one, It is through him, Sri Advaita Acarya, that Lord Chaitanya spread the Sankirtan movement, and through him that he delivered the word. The glory and attributes of Sri Advaita Acharya are unlimited. How can the insignificant living entities fathom them? So that's what Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami describes in Chaitanya Charitamrita about great glories. So the sixth chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita provides a lot of information, a lot of details about Sri Advaita Acharya. Also, in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila incarnation of Vyasadeva, he has also described very vividly. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is the incarnation of Srila Vyasadeva, has provided very vividly the pastimes and glories of Shantipur and the various pastimes of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, which are very sweet. So this is the house. This is called Sri Advaita Pad, the house of Advaita Acharya in Shantipur, and it is located. Shantipur is easily accessible. It is located about 1 hour's distance from Sri Dham Mayapur, and on the way to Kolkata. It's just a quick turn while we are going from Mayapur to Kolkata that the Shantipur comes, and in the midst of very big mango groves, there's a huge vast orchards of mango groves. Then in the middle of that, there's a beautiful house of Sri Advaita Acharya in Shantipur. And Shantipur, this is, as I mentioned, Sri Advaita Acharya made the vow to make Lord Krishna advent to this material world in Kali Yuga. And the original deities of Sri Madan Gopal and the Shaligram Shila that Sri Advaita Acharya worshipped to invoke the advent of Lord Chaitanya are still there in Shantipur. And interestingly, about 30 minutes or even less than that drive from Shantipur, there's another very important place called Fulyagram. Fulyagram is the place where Srila Haridas Thakur used to live, and that's the place where he propagated chanting of the holy name. Plus, he also gave the different classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, and that attracted many people to come and listen to his lectures, including a lot of Muslim population also started chanting Hare Krishna, listening and attending to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. And then we know the very famous and important pastime that magistrate of that Fulyagram became very upset and angry, and he asked him to come to his court, Haridas Thakur to come to his court, and tried to tell him that why follow the path of the Vedic scriptures, why don't follow the Mohammedan scriptures. But Haridas Thakur, he said that glories of holy name are unfathomable. And then he was, because he did not agree, he was beaten in 22 marketplaces, and how he, by the mercy of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, how he was chanting and he survived. And then finally he met Sri Advaita Acharya when his body was thrown in the Ganges River in Fulyagram, and that then he actually came directly floating here in Shantipur at Advaita Acharya's house. So that's where Srila Haridas Thakur met Sri Advaita Acharya for the first time. We'll cover a bit of that and some photos in this article a little later. But about Shantipur, there are other pastimes besides the one which I just described between Haridas Thakur and Advaita Acharya. Some other pastimes also took place, like the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also very important pastime when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived after his taking sannyas, and after he been tricked by Lord Nityananda, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired to go to Sri Vrindavan Dham, but Lord Nityananda was so compassionate. He saw that all the devotees, including Mother Sachi, became extremely morose of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's absence from Mayapur, because he took sannyas at Katwa from Keshav Bharati. He made changed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's direction from Vrindavan Dham. Then he made him arrive at Shantipur, where Sri Advaita Acharya's house was, and that's the place where Mother Sachi again met, along with so many devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after he took sannyas. Then another pastime which happened was the first meeting of one of the six Goswamis, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, here at Shantipur. That was the first meeting, and in the second, when the first meeting was when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met him after sannyas, and the second meeting was when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling to Vrindavan. That's when Raghunath Das Goswami met him, and there's a pastime with that which I'll cover it. And the other very important festival which is observed in Shantipur is Sri Madhavendra Puri's disappearance day, which comes about a couple of days before Gaura Purnima. And here, it's a very important festival. Here, there's a very big gathering of all the devotees and the locals. So many locals from surrounding villages come, and this festival is very important. That to observing of the disappearance day, and a lot of classes are given by our spiritual masters, and also there is lots and lots of prasadam distribution. Prasadam is prepared in a very mass quantity, and the significance of this festival is that anybody who comes, irrespective even he's not well, sick, they distribute the prasadam. They make sure they distribute even little, at least one bucket of prasadam to all. That's considered very, very important for our devotion in Krishna consciousness. Besides, our very dear His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada also visited Shantipur quite frequently. Before he moved to Sri Vrindavan Dham, he visited very frequently to Shantipur, because as we know, he had got the instruction from his spiritual master Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to propagate Krishna consciousness movement in West. So while he was in a Grihastha ashram, he wasn't able to do it, but he always used to come to Shantipur to pray to Sri Advaita Acarya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because as we discussed, it's because of mercy of Sri Advaita Acarya that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to propagate Krishna consciousness movement and Harinam Sankirtan. That's why Srila Prabhupada used to come here and pray, chant, plead to give him strength to follow the instructions of his spiritual master so that he can fulfill his desire. And then for not many years he couldn't come when he had moved to Delhi and in Vrindavan Dham, when he was trying to propagate over there away from Kolkata. But finally, just a day before he boarded the Jaladuta ship in 1965, he came to Shantipur, and he was crying and pleading to Sri Advaita Acharya that Sri Advaita Acharya and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu give him the blessings and the mercy that he could fulfill the desire of his spiritual master. And in fact, one of the pujaris, that pujari has been in Shantipur for many, many years, and he had seen Srila Prabhupada when he was young. He actually noticed again Abhay Chandarvind Srila Prabhupada after many years, and he inquired from him, I have seen you, but I have seen you after a long time. Why have you come? Then he explained, Srila Prabhupada explained that now he has become Abhay Chandarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami, and he wants to propagate Krishna conscious movement in West. So that's very special. Srila Prabhupada used to visit here, and also just before, while he had to board Jaladuta ship. Then these are the original Sri Madan Gopal deities and the Shaligram Shila worshipped by Sri Advaita Acharya, which are still present at the Shantipur temple and the house of Sri Advaita Acharya. Really very beautiful one. This is Madan Gopal deity. And this is the original Shaligram Shila worshipped by Sri Advaita Acharya at Shantipur. This is the photo, like that Shaligram Shila being worshipped by Sri Advaita Acharya. His Holiness Indra Swami Maharaj, he visits Shantipur quite often. Many other devotees, sannyasis also visit. This is the house of Sri Advaita Acharya. There are three main buildings in that place. This is the house just on the banks of the Ganges River in Shantipur. That's the exact place where Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya used to take prasadam, and also they devised plans to spread Krishna consciousness movement. And this is mentioned in the third chapter of the Mathe Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the sitting place of Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sri Advaita Acharya in Shantipur. And this is one of the pastimes when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu were honoring prasadam. Sri Advaita Acharya was absolutely jubilant to see the Supreme Lord taking prasadam. This is one of the very beautiful photos. This is also a very important pastime, as I mentioned, of Sachi Mata meeting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after he took sannyas at Katwa from Keshav Bharati. Very, very deep event because it was extremely heartbreaking for all the residents and the mother, Sachi, that Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he had to leave Mayapur Dham because his elder brother Rupa had already left and he went to Pandharpur, and Father Jagannatha Mishra had already left the body. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the only hope. Her Nimai was the only hope for her. But that he also took sannyas. It was a very difficult time for the mother. And so that's, as I mentioned, Lord Nityananda Prabhu brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here. And this is the place where Mother Sachi requested Lord Chaitanya, his son Nimai, to consider, instead of going to Vrindavan Dham, which is very far from Navadvip, rather stay in Jagannath Puri. Because if Lord agreed to stay in Jagannath Puri, then they were like, it was very close distance. Jagannath Puri and Mayapur are not very far. So she requested, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed. So very important pastime took place. As I mentioned about Haridas Thakur as well. So Haridas Thakur met Sri Advaita Acharya here. And this is the photo in one of the small temple rooms of Haridas Thakur. So this is the compound of Shantipur temple and his house. And one of the local devotee named Vijay Krishna Goswami found a metal plate and the wooden shoes of Advaita Acharya here as well. And it is said that this is the samadhi of Vijay Krishna Goswami, and it is said that the metal plate, and the shoes are buried here under this deity of this Goswami. Now, this very, as I was mentioning about the important pastime of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri, while he was going to Jagannath Puri to collect sandalwood for his Gopal in Govardhan, he stopped at Shantipur and he met Advaita Acharya, and he was a spiritual master. Sri Madhavendra Puri was a spiritual master of Sri Advaita Acharya. And on his disappearance day, Sri Advaita Acharya used to celebrate a very big festival, very big. And that tradition has continued even till date. And it's gone a lot of ISKCON celebrates this festival at Shantipur in a massive way. There are thousands and thousands of people who come, and this, because it comes just before Gaur Purnima time, all the devotees from around the world, they get the great fortune to attend this festival. And they come here, there are different classes, discourses, discussions, and moving around Shantipur during this festival. And then the very important part is discussions. The prasadam, usually a very, very big pot of khichdi is prepared, and it is distributed to at least 70,000 people, 70,000 devotees and people coming from the local around villages and all. It's massive, very, very massive pot of khichdi being prepared and then distributed to one and all. Prasadam is partook by everybody, and also people like to serve. People like to serve. Prasadam is considered very, very important for the progression of our Krishna consciousness. Then there's another very important festival which happens in Shantipur, which is little less known to us ISKCON devotees, but it's a very important festival and a very historic festival which is happening from quite a few last 3 to 4 centuries. It's called the Ras Yatra festival at the Boro Gosai temple in Shantipur. So the grandson of Sri Advaita Acarya was Mayuresh Goswami, and there was he worshipped a very important deity called Sri Radharaman. And these Radharaman deities were actually originally worshipped by King Indudhunya in Orissa, and but then they moved to Bangladesh, and then finally Mayuresh Goswami he got these deities in Mayapur in 1588. Because they were going to be attacked by the Mughal ruler at that time. And since then, Mayuresh Goswami observed this Ras Yatra festival. It's a very sweet and special festival. What happens is that the various deities from the town, Shantipur town, the very important deities, including our Madan Gopal deities and the Shaligram Shila from the Shantipur's house, they come and they all come in the big chariots, and there's a Ras Yatra. All the deities do the Ras Yatra, and there's a very nice kirtans and big festival being observed in Shantipur. This is the Baro Gosai Bari in Shantipur. This is the original Sri Radharaman deity worshipped in the lineage of Mayuresh Goswami. This is the altar where the various other deities are there, including Madan Gopal deities worshipped by Sri Advaita Acarya. There are other important deities like Sri Radha Vallabha, Sri Radha Rai Jiu, and Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra. This is the Ras Manch of the Bara Gosai Bari temple in Shantipur, where the Ras Yatra event is happening. Then, as I mentioned about Raghunath Das Goswami's meeting with Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu at Shantipur. So Raghunath Das Goswami met for the first time when Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu came after sannyas, and he got an opportunity by mercy of Advaita Acharya to partake the remnants of Lord, and that infused great devotion in him. And he actually was so infused that every night he used to run away from his house. He was a son of a very wealthy zamindar, Govardhan Mujumdar, and he used to run every day because he wanted to go and meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his father employed 11 guards to control him at night time so that he didn't run. But then again, when Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu came to Shantipur while going to Vrindavan Dham, then Raghunath Das met him again. And this time he expressed his desire, and he caught hold of Lord's lotus feet and said that he wants to be with him and want to all the time take a sannyas and want to spend. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him that don't be a show bottle Iransi, don't be a markat sannyas, don't be like a show bottle. Rather, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him that within your heart you should keep yourself very faithful, but externally you may behave like an ordinary man. Thus Krishna will soon be very pleased and deliver you from the clutches of Maya. You may see me at Nilachal Jagannath Puri when I return after visiting Vrindavan. By that time you can think of some trick to escape. What kind of means you have to use at that time will be revealed by Lord Krishna. if one has Krishna's mercy, no one can check him. So this was his instruction to Raghunath Das Goswami by Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, which were given here in Shantipur. Then, as I was mentioning about the Fulyagram, it's about half an hour's drive from Shantipur. That's the place where Shri Haridas Thakur lived, and that's where this is the temple which is dedicated to Haridas Thakur. And in Fulyagram, as I was mentioning, he propagated the Harinam Sankirtan and the Vaishnava culture and Srimad Bhagavatam. He used to read Srimad Bhagavatam, and that attracted many people, and even many Mohammedans, they started chanting Hare Krishna. But that didn't go well with the Muslim magistrate, and he ordered him, Haridas Thakur, to come to his court, and told him that why don't he follow the Muslim scriptures and chant the kalmas. But Haridas Thakur told the glories of chanting of the holy name. And then the magistrate, he said that if you are really are saying that chanting of the holy name of Lord is the highest, then you will have to prove it, that if you can survive the beating in the market 22 marketplace, and if you are able to survive, then we'll definitely believe the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the highest. So then he was beaten in 22 marketplaces over here in Fulyagram. And then after being beaten to 22 marketplaces, he did not feel anything, even though he was mercilessly beaten by the soldiers. By mercy of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he was fully protected. Then the soldiers, they requested Haridas Thakur that why if he doesn't die, the Mohammedan magistrate is going to kill them. So they requested Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur actually became unconscious. And then the Muslim magistrate decided that there's no point in burying his body, just throw it in Ganges River. And then Haridas Thakur was able to gain the consciousness and come, swim and reach here in Shantipur and meet Advaita Acharya. So another very important place. So that's all about Shantipur Yatra, and the full article about Shantipur Yatra is available on the Holy Pilgrimages website, and there's a link for Shantipur Yatra where all the devotees can go and visit more details about Shantipur. There are more photographs as well and more level of details too. Thank you. Prabhu, I think you are on mute.
All right, Hare Krishna. Yeah, I live so close to Shantipur, and yet I haven't visited all the places you have. So now you've really whetted my appetite, and particularly, did you ever take part in that Ras Yatra festival?
No, Prabhu, I did not get the chance to participate, to be part of that Ras Yatra festival, but I definitely desire to. It's a very, very beautiful festival. Yeah.
When do you recall when it's held? What time of year?
In Kartik month, at the start of the Kartik.
In Kartik. Okay.
Yes.
Very, very nice.
And it's so special because you get to see all the deities, all the important deities at one place at one time.
Yeah.
So special.
Yeah. Wonderful. So this is the first of our series of broadcasts with you. We will be next visiting Ekachakra, correct?
Yes, we'll visit the Ekachakra Dham Yatra tomorrow, and that's connected with Lord Nityananda Prabhu. It's the birthplace of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So, and also this is also the place where Pandavas came while they were in exile, and they killed one of the Bhimsen killed one of the demons as well, Bakasur.
And I think after that, we're going to be visiting some South India Yatra.
Yeah.
We're going to be visiting. And then we're coming to Navadvipa later.
Yes, the third one will be on Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's birthplace at Jagannath Puri, and also we'll be covering Sri Chaitanya Math, which was established by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and is also called Vrindavan in Mayapur. And then the fourth one will be on the South India Yatra of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, various holy places covering from Kurma Kshetra, Simhachalam, Rajamundi, where he met Ramananda Rai, and he had discussion for 10 days, then to Kanchipuram, Tirupati, Ahobilam, very, very important, their Nav Narasimha temple. That's a very remote and important place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited. Then Rameshwaram, Madurai, Sri Rangam, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed for 4 months during the rainy season at Venkata Bhatta's house. That's also the house of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, the one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Then to Kanyakumari, Trivandrum, Udupi, Hampi, finally at Hampi. That's where there's quite a few places there in South India where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ruled. And then Jagannath Puri Dham on one of the days, and Navadvipa Dhama on the last day.
So, in order to keep up for all of our viewers out there, in order to keep informed and get updated with the dates and times and so on for this and all of the rest of our broadcasts, we're having more than 50 broadcasts between now and Gaur Purnima with speakers from all over the world on a variety of topics. Please subscribe to our mailing list at gbcspt.com. That's number one. You can also follow us wherever you're right now. If you're on Facebook or on YouTube, make sure to follow and set the notifications so that you get notified, because we schedule these things in advance, and you'll get a notification of the events that are coming. And share this with others. Visit our website, share it with others, and of course also visit holypilgrimages.com and make sure to get on that list as well, because this journey continues. You have plans, I'm sure, for many more of these pilgrimages. It would be very, very good to keep up. It's really inspiring. So again, make sure that you visit and subscribe to the mailing list. That's really important. And I want to thank Chandan Yatra Prabhu again for everything. And we'll see you. Yeah, it's okay. It's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
For the next one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very grateful to you.
Thank you.
So much.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.